Hey guys, I'm Eric Peterson and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for skillofattraction.com. And today's coaching video is called When Your Girl Stops Putting in the Effort. Now, as many of you know, these coaching videos is when one of you guys writes into me, and if I think it's a question that would be beneficial to my viewers and subscribers, I answer your question in a video. And in this email that I got from a viewer, he has been dating his girl for approximately 7-8 months, and she has kind of backed off a little bit. She's not really putting in much effort to see him and to spend time with him, and he's kind of starting to feel that he's doing all the work here, and he loves her, but he's just not down with this. And I mean, can you blame him? So I'm going to go through his email and we'll see what we could do for him. But if you guys need my personal help and you're interested in some private coaching, please head over to my website at skillofattraction.com, click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see that I have several options for you to choose from. I offer standard email coaching as well as emergency email coaching, which includes a response from me on weekends and holidays. And I also offer a bi-weekly and monthly email coaching where I will work with you throughout that time period. Additionally, I offer phone coaching for my U.S. clients. Now, if you're outside of the U.S., I will have a phone or Skype coaching option sometime in the future, but for right now, email coaching is the way to go. And I will post the links to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. So let's get on to his email. He says, "Hey Eric, love your videos. You have been so helpful, especially mentally for me." That's great. You know what? That's one of the things that I love about doing this job is that I get these messages from you guys saying how much I helped you, and it's very rewarding for me. He says, "So my girlfriend of 7 months has recently been acting distant and has not been trying to see me. She travels a lot for work, so add that into the mix. We haven't had sex in about a month." That's a long time. "We used to see each other all the time when she was in town. She does have a lot of issues going on, mentally and legal issues that she hasn't resolved back home. She has told me that between work and everything else, she is stressed out a lot." Well, that makes sense. "She says she doesn't want to lose me and she loves me still. However, it just feels like I'm putting in more effort into the relationship. I backed away and I gave her space when she needed it. I was looking for advice on how long I should give her space before I start looking after my own life because I have needs myself." Absolutely. "I love this girl a lot, but I don't know how much longer I should give her. We are still together, just not seeing each other a lot. I work out and I have a great family, but I need to figure out what else I should be focusing on. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Take care, Eric. You are a great mentor and hero to many. Thank you." Well, thank you. Okay, first off, you're doing the right thing by giving her space. Obviously, I don't know your girl, but the fact that she's going through a lot and she's saying that she's just been stressed seems relatively legitimate. I mean, it is true that when a woman, or even a man for that matter, is going through a stressful time in their life, you are suddenly not a priority, and attraction has seemingly dropped. A woman's attraction for a man can drop during situations such as this, and it rarely has anything to do with what the man has been saying or doing. I mean, I say all the time that, when your girl is pulling away and whatnot, that it's usually because you're acting weak or you're being needy, or maybe you're just not giving her a lot of attention. But in this case, this sounds like one of those times where it's nothing that you're doing. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot a guy can do when her focus and priorities are elsewhere. At least not in the moment, and at least not something direct. This is also probably the reason why the sex has tapered off quite a bit as well. I mean, it's her stress. On the surface, all of this makes complete sense. However, you're paying the price for all this, which really isn't fair to you. I mean, no matter how you look at it, she's just not carrying her weight in the relationship and leaving you feeling a bit alone. Now, of course, you can be a little tolerant and patient and understanding of whatever it is that she's going through. But let's face it, at the end of the day, you're still feeling like a low priority and maybe even like she's losing interest or doesn't even care. And when you're committed to each other, that means that you two work through these sort of things. And that takes two people. It's not just you sitting around twiddling your thumbs and waiting for her to make you a priority again. I guarantee that if it were the other way around, she would be quite hurt and upset despite what you're going through. I mean, I have coached quite a few men whose girl left them because his attention was elsewhere, whether that be in his career or even in a couple of cases, tending to a dying parent. I mean, on the surface, it does seem quite selfish, but you know, what the hell are you supposed to do? Pretend like you're okay with this or just accept it? No. You're the prize and you deserve to be treated as such and not be treated like some sort of afterthought. Now, it's natural for the other person to feel left out in the cold, and over time this leads to the other person eventually feeling like their girl, or guy really, this goes both ways, just doesn't care any longer. And that often leads to the person who feels like a low priority, either falling out of love or leaving the relationship, or both. Basically, you've been put on the back burner and they expect you to wait around for them. I mean, they're more or less putting you on hold. Now, if you've been watching my videos, I'm sure you've heard me say that you just can't do this sort of thing if you want to keep your girl. I mean, when it comes to the woman, you must make her feel special and loved, but it's really the same for women. They need to do this for you too. I mean, men are a bit more tolerant of this sort of thing, but you have to look at it this way. There are plenty of other women out there that would be thrilled to have your attention right now. On the outside from what I just mentioned, part of the problem is that society teaches women that men are supposed to be doing everything to keep the romance alive. Like, it's all their job. But while it is the man's job to take the lead, like I said before, it takes two people. If she's not carrying her weight, you'll just burn out, or worse, your value will begin to drop in her eyes because she's not doing anything to earn nor maintain your love and attention. Now, even if she still loves you deeply, and I'm sure that she does, at least to some extent, you can't maintain a happy, healthy relationship based on good intentions. So what I recommend that you do first is confront her on this. Don't get emotional or mean or nasty or say anything terrible. Just calmly yet firmly tell her something like, look, I love you, but I've been really feeling like this has been one-sided lately. I don't like feeling like a low priority, and this just isn't going to work for me. And make sure you say something like that in your own words and own personality. And whatever you do, do not start saying needy things like, you know, you just never spend time with me anymore, or you just never pay attention. That is going to have the opposite of effect of what you're trying to accomplish here. Now, once you confront her with this, she may get a little defensive or question what you mean, but you just need to stick to your guns. You expect her to hold up her end in the relationship. And if she can't or won't, then the relationship just isn't going to work. And that's absolutely true. It will not work. And like I said, you're going to burn yourself out and look like a chump in the process. Now, after you've spoken to her about this, then just give her some time to rectify the situation. It's not going to happen overnight. And even if it did, you want to make sure that the changes stick, that it's not just one-time thing that she's doing simply to placate you. You want to put your own time limit on this, where if she doesn't make the changes you expect within a certain amount of time, you're just going to be bowing out of the relationship. And I recommend that you give her around a month. But you can put whatever time limit you would like on this. Just be sure you don't give her too much time, because if you do, she'll most likely won't make the changes because there's no real threat that she may lose you. So, but just don't tell her that you're putting a time limit on this. That will not go over well. And if she doesn't make the necessary changes by that time, then you just have to end the relationship. I know it sucks, but the alternative is much worse. I mean, trust me, because if you feel like a low priority now, it will most likely get worse if you continue to tolerate this over time. Oh, and be sure that you only have this talk with her one time. If you keep bringing it up, it'll only come across like you're whining, and she will just lose respect for you. I completely understand that you want to remind her because you don't want to end the relationship, but she won't perceive it in that way. I actually did that in a old relationship of mine, and I kept reminding her that you need to make these changes. And the girl actually said to me, "Quit whining." And after a moment of shock, I was like, I can't believe she just said that. I realized that she was right. I was whining. So tell her once that this isn't going to work for you. Give her some time to rectify the situation. And if she's still not carrying her weight, then I'm afraid it's time to walk away. And once you walk away, one of two things will happen here. Either she will not let you get away and do something about this, or she will let you go. And if she lets you go, unfortunately, this just means she didn't care enough about you to begin with, and she just saved you a ton of time and energy by not keeping you a part of this when she simply has lukewarm feelings. And if she cares at all, she will come for you. Hopefully this time being a bit more prepared to begin putting in effort into you and the relationship. And for future reference, you want to be cognizant of how much effort you're both putting into the relationship. I mean, ideally, you want her to be putting in at least 60% of the effort and you putting in no more than 40%. Why the uneven numbers, you ask? Well, this is a good balance in order to maintain her attraction. The more effort she's putting in, the more she will perceive you to have a higher value because she's earning it now. And the more perceived value that you have, the higher her attraction and the deeper her love will be. Now, if it's 50-50 or you're putting in more effort, her attraction for you begins to drop. Women must look up to the man in their life in terms of value, respect, and admiration in order to maintain her attraction. If they don't look up to you this way, they will lose attraction and eventually leave you. It's just how it is. Plus, when you are focused on a relationship so much, it's really feminine energy. Now, it's not always easy to maintain this 60-40 dynamic or 60-40 or better, but whatever you do, do not let her effort drop below 50% where you're doing most of the work. Women just will not put in the effort if they notice you're doing all the heavy lifting. I mean, why would they? You're doing it all for them. And especially attractive women, they're used to men doing everything for them all the time. So, and the rest of your effort, say you're putting in that 40%, the rest of your effort should be dedicated to your purpose and building your value. As a man, you should always be increasing your value, no matter how successful you are. While women hearing this video, they may not like this balance on a conscious level, but at the end of the day, they want a high value man, and you won't have much value to women if you're putting them on a pedestal and putting most of your energy into the relationship. So instead, pursue your goals and hobbies, work on your health and fitness, maintain and build your social circle. The better you are at this stuff, while she's working to maintain your interest and maintain the relationship, the happier and healthier the relationship will be, despite what your family and friends or society tells you. Just both people, men and women, are happier with this dynamic. So If you have found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. And I would also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have a link to PayPal if you deem this video worthy of a donation. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.